So good morning everyone. Welcome to lecture 11 of problem solving and computer programming course, and a very happy new year to you and your family. Okay, hope this new year will brings you the more success. So let us start today's lecture. In today's lecture, we are going to see about switch case statement, right? So last class I told you about multi-way branches using if statement or if else statement, or we discussed about if else if statement, right? So we have also seen nested if, right? So by using these statements, we have seen how to perform the multi-way branches, right? Now we are going to see how to do the same thing by the help of switch statement, right? Whatever we discussed in yesterday's class, okay, last class, the same thing we want to do by the help of the switch statement, right? So as an example, so now you know that our institute is also following a grading system, right? Based upon your minor 1 mark, minor 2 mark, mid exam mark, end exam mark, or some other test mark. So finally, you will be awarded one grade with respect to a particular subject, right? Like here you can see, I can award A, B, or C based upon your mark. Okay. Similarly, D and F grades are also used. And out of these 5 grades, you are going to get one of the grade, right? Our grading system is different. We have also S and EX. Okay. But let us assume that we have 5 grades, that is A, B, C, D, F, right? And anything beyond this one, that is called as your invalid grade, right? So if a student has appeared the examination, then he is supposed to get one of the grade out of these 5, that is A, B, C, D, and F, right? So in switch case statement, there is a default, right? Default means if a student will not appear the exam, or if a student is appearing the exam and not attending any question, okay. So for all circumstances, okay, or sometimes the student is not doing anything, still also you will award one grade, right? In this case, we have considered that is called as invalid grade, right? So there should be a default condition, right? By default, you are going to get this much, right? So in this case, if you see 5 different grades are there, if you are entering another grade which is not equal to your A, B, C, D, F, then you are going to get the default one, right? Whatever grade is written in the default or whatever message is written in the default, that you are going to get in the case of switch statement, right? Let us see. So here you can see the program, right? So what you have done, the execution starts from the main function. So here you can see that you have taken a character. That character is your grade, right? Which is capable to store only one character. That it be A, or it be B, or it be C, or D, or F. One of the grade you are expected to enter. Then it is asking enter your midterm grade and press return, right? Press return means press enter. So user will enter a particular grade, right? Then based upon the input of the user, what you are going to do, you are going to do one, you have to choose one of the case, right? For example, you let's say you entered A, right? Capital A. So switch grade. So in the grade case, it is A, right? So you know that there are lot of cases are there in switch case. It is a switch followed by condition, then curly bracket start, curly bracket end. Then you have a couple of cases and it is ending with the default one, right? So if it is A, then in the output you are going to get excellent. You need not take the final and break, right? Why break is written? If you will not write break, then it will continue with the next condition. Okay. So what happened once this case is satisfied? So you have to quit, or any case is satisfied, there you have to quit. Otherwise, it will go to the next case, right? Similarly, if you input B, then it will say very good. Okay. And it is going to say your midterm grade is now B, right? So it should be B here. Your midterm grade should be B, right? Then it will quit. Similarly, if you say, if you enter C grade, then it is saying passing, then it will terminate. Or if it is your grade is D or F, then both case it is saying not good, go study. Right? You can see here, after case D, we have not written the break statement. So once a user has written D, right, it will go to case D. Okay, case D, nothing is written, there is no instruction. So automatically it will go to the next one, that is F. Okay, even if you have not entered F, you have entered D, it will go to D, it will read the instruction, there is no instruction, so it will automatically go to the next case as there is no break statement. Okay, that's why it is very much important, right? So in the output you are going to get not good, go study, right? Then it will terminate. If none of the grade listed here like A, B, C, D, F you have not entered, then finally it is saying that is not a possible grade, right? For example, you have written P, or somebody is written Q, somebody is written Z. So these are grades are called as not possible grade. Okay, and this is your switch block, right? And after end of this switch block, it will print end of the program and it will terminate, right? Let us see the output. If you have entered A, so it is saying excellent, you need not take the final. Okay, and end of the program. If you are writing B, then it is saying very good. Okay, and your midterm grade is now B. It should be B. Okay, it should not be A, it should be B. There is a mistake here, right? You correct it to B, right? Okay, so if you are entered D, then it is saying not good, go study. Even if you are entering F, it is saying not good, go study. But if you have written E, which is not there in the case, so it is saying this is not a possible grade and end of the program. So in this manner, the switch is working. So let us see what is the syntax. Syntax is you have to write switch and a controlling expression. Controlling expression means you can enter a number, you can enter a alphabet, okay, here, okay. And in the case, okay, you have multiple cases, right? Case constant 1, case constant 2, case constant n. Here you can explain, okay, whatever controlling expression you are putting, their possible values you have to write here. Like here the possible values is, let's say A, B, C and D and F, right? So you have to write a case for A, case for B, case for C and case for F. And finally you have to end with the default, right? And a couple of statements are there inside the case. So you have to write break at the end of the case, so that those case, the case which is you are intended for, that is only be executed, other case will not be executed. But if you not write the break, if this condition is satisfied, its subsequent instruction will also be satisfied. Subsequent cases will also be satisfied. That's why you have to keep in your mind that break you should use in each and every case. But in the last case, break is not required because that is the last case, right? After that, you are going to out of the switch block, right? So it is not a loop, it is a statement like if else statement or if else statement, right? So this is the flow chart. You can see here in the bottom there is a program switch choice. The choice may be 1, the choice may be 2, the choice may be 3, choice may be 4. Here there is no default choice. Default choice is optional. Here default choice is not there. In case 1 you can see there is a break statement. Case 2 you can see there is a break statement. Case 3 there is a break statement, but case 4 there is no break statement. So you can see, you can enter, first case 1 will be checked. If case 1 is okay, then statement 1 is executed, then you will stop the execution. If case 1 is not satisfied, then you go for case 2. If case 2 is satisfied, you execute statement 2 and quit. If case 2 is not satisfied, you are going for case 3. You are checking. If it is yes, you execute statement 3. Okay, then you quit it, right? If case 3 is not satisfied, you go to case 4. Okay, then you execute statement 4, then you quit, right? In this manner, you can go for the switch case statement. But here you can see the default one is not there. What it indicates? It indicates default is your optional one, right? You can write, you cannot write. But it is a good practice that you have to write the default statement. right? So a switch statement's controlling statement must return one of these values. So the controlling statement is nothing but this choice. Okay, what is the value? It may be a bool value, that is true or false. Or in the last class we have discussed about enum or strong enum, that also you can declare. You can declare an integer or you can declare a character. Last program case I told you the character. That is, you are entering the alphabet A or alphabet B or alphabet C or alphabet D or alphabet F, right? So the value returned is compared to the constant value after each and every case. Every case will be compared until unless your condition is satisfied. Okay, and once a condition is satisfied, you have written the break statement at the end, so it will be out of the switch case statement. So when a match found, the code for that case is executed, right? So we are using the break statement, right, at the end of each switch case statement, right, or each case statement you can say. So omitting the break statement will cause the code for the next case to be executed. Like here you can see there is a case for capital A, there is a case for small a. Okay, if you enter capital A, so it will go to capital A, there is no break statement, so it will continue with small. So it will print excellent, then it will break. Even if writing small a, so what it will do? In the output, it is going to show C out excellent and break. So whether your input is A or your input is small a, doesn't matter. The same output you are going to get, right? If you like to print like that, then it is okay. But if you don't like that, then you have to write a statement here followed by the break statement. Okay, so the corresponding statement will be executed as for the input of the user, right? Now, if no case level has a constant that matches the controlling expression, whatever case you have written, that case is false. Then what you have to do? Finally, the default levels are executed, right? So if there is no default level, I told you default level is optional, right? If there is no default level, nothing happens when the switch statement is executed. But for the good practice, okay, you have to write the default statement, because sometimes while you are programming, you may not think about a particular thing, right? But that case will be there when a user input a specific value, right? So ultimately default case will be executed, by which you will know that this is the part we have skipped. So you can modify your part, right? That's why default statement is required. So nested if else statements are more versatile than a switch statement, right? So each and every one is having their own advantages and disadvantages, right? So switch statements can make code more clear because you have a single condition followed by a lot of cases, right? So a menu is a natural application for a switch statement. Like whenever you are filling a form, whether it is a J form or in the upcoming days you are going to fill up GATE form or MATE form, JET form, and MBA forms related. So many forms you are going to fill up. So in that you have seen that whenever you are selecting country, a list is coming, right? So you have to choose one, just like a menu, right? You are given with a lot of alternatives, you have to choose one of the alternatives. Switch statement is like that only, right? And you have also seen that somewhere it is written no or others. Okay, in the menu, if none of the option is correct, then something is written as others. If it is not satisfied, then you have to choose the others. The others is same as our default statement, right? So there is a question arises here. Is switch a replacement for if? Switch we have studied in the previous classes. We have seen if. Is switch a replacement for if? Your answer may be yes or your answer may be no, right? Sometimes there is a question like that in the examination. You have to say yes or no, and you have to give its proper reason. Okay, like in this case, both answers are correct, right? Yes is correct and no is correct, but you have to provide a sufficient reason why you are thinking yes or why you are thinking no, right? For example, in this case, it is yes because it offers a better way of writing the program as compared to if. If you compare the if and switch, definitely switch is having a lot of cases. but if else nested if else will happen. Okay, then what will happen? It looks like a very complex one. So finding which else belongs to which heap and finding and decoding and debugging this thing is very difficult, right? So in order to write a better way of programming, switch is preferable, right? Why it is no? No, because in certain situation we are left with no choice but to use switch. Okay, but there are some situations are there in which switch is not applicable. You are forcefully going with if. For example, I will tell you I have only one case. Then what you will do? There is no use of switch case statement. When multiple cases are there, it is required. But writing single case is meaningless, right? You have to write so many codes. You can directly go for if statement. So the disadvantages of switch statement is that one cannot have a case in a switch which looks like this one, like case I less than equal to 20. But I less than equal to 20 may be a condition in the if statement. But here the value may be a Boolean one, that is true or false. It may be an integer, it may be a character constant, but you cannot write a condition like case I less than equal to 20. Such cases are not allowed in the switch case statement, right? That's why your answer may be yes or no, but you have to specify a justified reason why you are thinking yes or no. Now you can see here switch I plus j into k, right? So whatsoever may be the value, finally you have to convert it to an integer or a character or a bool value. Or you are writing switch 23 plus 45 modulus 4 into k. Okay, so such type of statements, or you are going for a less than 4 or and b less than 5, b less than 7. So such type of statement need to be represented in the form of Boolean or integer, right? So if you write like this, that is not allowed, right? There is no meaning, right? So finally, you have to go for a particular case value. Suppose your case value is 1, 2, 3, 4. So your expected is that whatever value, whatever things are there, that should be either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. Otherwise, the default case will be executed. So you can try this thing and see what is the circumstance. Switch and if else statements allows the use of multiple statements in a branch. Whether if else statement you go for or switch statement, we are expecting we are having multiple cases. If multiple cases is there, then that is fine, right? Otherwise, there is no use of these two statements, right? So multiple statements in a branch can make a switch or if else statement difficult to read, right? Definitely, whenever you go for a complexity of the program where you have a lot of branches, that case if else statement is difficult to read, right? If within a if, and that if is also within a if, it is very difficult, right? So in some cases, switch case is providing a very simple solution in comparison to the if else statement. But there are some cases are there, like I told you, I less than is equal to 20. In that case, it is compulsorily we have to use the if else statement, because I less than 20 you cannot write in the case condition, right? Case I less than equal to 20 is not allowed, right? So let us see another program. So in this program, if you see, we'll go more detail about this program. So you have header file that is has include IO stream. Then you have using namespace std, right? Then I have created 3 functions. I told you how to declare a function, although we have not discussed what is function. First part is called as a return type, right? Return type may be int, maybe float, maybe double, maybe void. Void is a non-return type. Non-return type means return 0 is not required, right? So first you have to specify the return type. Like you can see, every case I have written the return type is void. You can write int also. Then you write the function name. This is the function name, right? Then parenthesis start, parenthesis close. So you can see there are 3 functions. One is show underscore assignment, show underscore grade, and give underscore fields. So there are 3 functions are there, right? As these functions is here, these functions function is we are writing like this prior to the main program to inform the compiler this function is described later part of the program. That's why we are putting semicolon at the end, right? You can see there is a semicolon at the end. because here we are not explaining what is the things available inside the function. Okay, so here we are using three statements. One is three functions. One is show assignment to display the next assignment on the screen. Show underscore grade, which asks for a student number and give the corresponding grade. Another is give hints, which displays a hint for the current assignment. So these three functions we have defined later part of the program. That's why we are specifying that these functions exist in the program. We are going to discuss this thing in the later classes. Then I am writing the main function. Execution starts from this main function only. Then I am writing int choice. So user will enter a choice, right? We are expecting the user will give input for this particular variable. So I have declared here do while statement, right? So here I am displaying a couple of statements. Choose one to see the next homework assignment. Choose two for your grade on the last assignment. Choose three for assignment hint. Choose four for exit this program. Enter your choice and press enter and choice. So you have four cases. Either you have to choose option 1 or option 2 or option 3 or option 4, and that is stored in the choice. So if choice 1 is there, then we will show the assignment. If choice 2, then we will go for show grade. If choice 3, then give hints. And you can see in each and every statement you have a break keyword. Break means once that function will execute, you will terminate it. Right? Now, if a user choose 4, then you quit the program. Okay, and if a user is not entering 1, 2, 3, 4, it is going to show not a valid choice and choose again. Okay, and this switch case is now available inside the do while. I told you do while case, the statement is going to be executed at least once, right? Because there is no condition here. So this particular switch case will execute at least one. But instead of that, if you have used while, so there may be a chance that it will not execute. So until unless the user is going to choose the choice is not equal to 4, you are not going to stop. Right? And other functions are not defined here. Here it is written that the three functions, whatever I told you, that is show underscore assignment, show underscore grade, give underscore hint, they are not described here, right? We'll discuss in later part. So now you can see there is 4 messages 1, 2, 3, 4. What 1, 2, 3, 4 indicates? One is for the next homework assignment. Second one is your grade in the last assignment. Third one is your assignment hint. Fourth one is exit. Then enter your choice and press enter. Suppose you are entering 3. Okay, then it is calling which function? It is calling the give underscore hint function. You can see in the case 3, it is calling give or hints function. Let inside the give and hints function, you have these things. So it will be displayed in the output. Okay, what is there inside this program is not defined in this program for the simplicity. So if you call that, it is going to be this one. For the next time, you are entering 4. As you are entering 4, your choice is 4, right? Until unless your choice is not equal to 4, then you will continue. As you are entering 4, so it is displaying end of the program. Right? Because you have written case 4 is nothing but end of the program. And break. It will quit from that particular program. Okay? So what we did here? Here we have created multiple cases, and until unless a condition is satisfied, you are go on processing that, right? So you know whether it is a if-else statement or switch case, it will execute only once. But here what happened? This switch case is inside a loop. That is your do while loop. So it will execute multiple times until unless a particular condition is not satisfied. If this condition is not satisfied, then in the next iteration it will stop. Right? Like here if I will enter 3, 3 is not equal to 4. That is true. So it will execute for one more time. Okay? So this is the way you can implement a particular switch case statement inside a particular loop in order to iterate multiple times. Right? Now come to the blocks. Each branch of a switch or if-else statement is a separate subtask. Like whenever you will go for the higher semester, you will know there is a software, right? If you want to build a particular software, first step of the software is to how we can build, how you can decompose this part into multiple modules, right? So you have to divide a particular work into multiple modules, right? Suppose you are given with a big assignment. So what you will do? You need a couple of people. After getting this couple of people, what you are going to do? You have to divide your work into small chunks. If you divide into small chunks, each and every chunk can be given to each and every member, so that the member can solve that particular work. That's why we can say each and every one is called as a subtask. If a task is assigned to you, you are decomposing a task into number of subtasks. Same thing is done by switch if else. Okay, switch or if else is doing the same thing. You have lot of cases or you have branches. Okay, it indicates that you have to complete one task, subtask in each and every. Okay, so if the action of a branch is too simple to warrant a function call, use multiple statement between branches. I told you when there is a single statement, that is fine. When you have multiple statements, it is better to use braces in order to avoid the confusion. So a block is a section of code enclosed by braces. So each and every case or each and every block, whether it is a if block or else block, is consists of a set of statements. That's why we are putting bracket, curly bracket, okay, for to avoid the confusion and to clarify what is the things you have written, right? Variables declared within a block are local to the block and have the block as their scope. So if you have declared in a particular block X, another block also you have declared the same variable X. So both X are different. The value of both X is different. Okay, their scope is limited to their block only. Once you out from that block, your value may be different. So variable names declared in the block can be reused outside the block. Yes. So if you want to reflect the same value in all the block, then you have to declare that as a global variable, not as a local variable. But if you are restricting into a particular block, then the scope of that variable is inside that block only. When you go outside the block, the value may be different, right? So let us see another program. So this program is used to compute the bill for either a wholesale or retail purchase. So whenever you are purchasing a particular item, the cashier is going to take your item and check whether it is a wholesale purchase or retail purchase, right? So here you can see, here we have declared const double. Constant, but it is a constant. Const double, double is your data type. Tax rate is 0.05. It indicates 5% sales tax, right? Now you can see your execution starts from the main function. You have declared 4 variables. One is sale type, another is number, price, and total. We are asking input, that is enter price in dollar. So somebody will enter the price. Okay, user is going to enter the price. Okay, and enter number of purchase. How many items you have purchased? That you have to enter. Then you have to enter. The salesperson has to enter. Okay, these inputs are given by the user. Okay, and the user is now going to input that. If it is going to give either W or R. What W indicates? W indicates it is a wholesale purchase. R indicates it is a retail purchase. Okay. So 3 things you have to enter. You have to enter the price, you have to enter the number of items, and you have to input either W or R. Okay. And this W or R input is saved in sale underscore type. Right. So if sale underscore type is capital W or sale underscore type is small w, then what you have to do? There is no sales tax. That's why you are multiplying price with number. Okay, so it is 10 price and 2 items you have purchased, and it is 20 price. If it is a wholesale purchase. But whenever you are going for retail purchase, what you have to do? You have to add the tax rate. That's why what you are doing here, you are multiplying price with number to calculate the subtotal, okay, which we call as total in the wholesale. Then we are saying total is equal to subtotal plus subtotal into tax rate. So if it is a wholesale, if it is a retail purchase, so what you have to do, price into number is 20, okay, and subtotal is, let's say, equal to 20 here. So you will write 20 plus 20 into tax rate. Tax rate is nothing but 5%. That is 0.05. Now whatever value you are getting, that is your retail purchase price. Okay. But if a user is giving input W except W or R, or small w or small r, then it is going to show a message that is called as error in output. So this is here we are not using switch case statement. Here what we are using? We are using if else statement, right? We are going for if else statement, right? But the same thing you can implement using your switch case statement. Here there may be a confusion, but whenever you go for switch case, it gives you more clarity. Okay, so based upon the programming practice you can use. Okay, now I want to show in the output, that's why I want to display up to 2 decimal plus, that's why I have written cout.position is equal to 2. So finally it is going to show the number, items at dollar, then the price, total bill is equal to dollar is nothing but total. Okay, and if it is R, then it is going to print a message that is including sales tax. Like you can see here, enter price is 10, enter number of purchase is 2. Okay, then it is written W is wholesale purchase, R is retail purchase. Then user is to give input, user is giving input as R. So it is saying number is nothing but 2, item at dollar is price is nothing but dollar 10 rupees, dollar 10. Okay, then up to 2 decimal place, so it is going to show 0.00, right? Then total bill is equal to dollar. Total is nothing but your 21, because it is nothing but 2 into 10. Okay, 2 into 10, that is 20, plus 20 of, you are going to multiply the text, right? If you multiply the text, you are going to get 1. So total bill you are going to get is 21. As it is a retail price, it is going to print another message that is including sales tax, right? Okay, a statement block is a block that is not a function body or the body of the main part of the program. Right? You are writing a couple of statements, right? In a particular block, vertical statement or in a case statement. Statement blocks can be nested in other statement blocks as well. Okay, that's why it is very difficult if you are going for nesting statement blocks. So it is a better practice to represent each statement blocks through curly bracket, right? Or as an alternative, what you can do, instead of going for these curly brackets, if somebody will say that, why not use the function? One person can say that, suppose in this case, whether it is a retail price or there is a wholesale price. For retail price, I will write a function. If it is a wholesale price, I will write another function. So that is also possible. So that will make your statement blocks more simpler, right? Okay. So if a single identifier is declared as a variable in each of the two blocks, one within other block, then these are two different variables with the same name, right? So it may happen that one block is inside another block and you are declaring the same variable in both the blocks, right? You have a variable declaration x in one block, inside another block, again a variable x is there. So one of the variable exists only within the inner block, cannot be accessed outside the inner block. So whatever you have written outside the block is different from the inner block. As you have not declared that variable as a global variable. So each and every variable is local to their block only, right? So the other variables exist only in the outer block, cannot be accessed by the inner block. I will tell you an example to clarify this particular idea. See this example, you have written int x is equal to 1. So let execution starts from the main function. Okay, after that you have written int x is equal to 1. Now you are printing the value of x. What is the value of x? It will come. It will come as 1 because the variable you have declared and initialized to 1 and you are showing that variable, right? Then inside that block you have another block, right? Inside the main function you have another block in which you are printing cout is equal to x. So here it will print 1. Here it is asking what is the value of x. Yes, it is 1 only. But here I am modifying the same variable to 2. That means I am declaring int x is equal to 2. Okay, and I am displaying the value of x. So it is going to print 2, right? But whenever you are outside this particular block, you are again printing the value of x. So how much it is going to print? That is surprise you that you are going to get 1, right? So that's why each and every variable having its own scope, right? When you are going outside the scope, you may get different value. That's why you have to be careful. If you want to reflect to all the block, you have to declare as a global variable. Okay, the next point of discussion is we are going to see a loop statement, another loop statement, that is for. Okay, already we have seen while and do while. We'll also visit while and do while again. Then we'll continue with your for. So a loop is a program construction that repeats a statement or sequence of statements a number of times. Okay, so a statement blocks, if you want to repeat multiple times, then you can go for loop. You go for while loop or do while loop or for loop, right? So the body of the loop is the statements repeated. Each repetition of the loop is called as iteration. So iteration 1, iteration 2. Suppose you want to print 10 times. So we are saying iteration 1, iteration 2 up to iteration 10. Okay. So you have to repeat the same statement. The difference is that each and every variable which is used in that particular loop, that may be different with respect to the iteration. Okay. So there is two questions here. What should the loop body be? What things you have to keep in that loop body? Second is that how many times should the body be iterated? So how to know how many times you are going to iterate that particular loop, that you have to decide, right? So an important difference between while and do while already we discussed. That while loop you are checking the Boolean expression at the beginning of the loop. If that expression is false, then while loop will never be executed. Okay. But if you go for do while loop, we are checking the Boolean expression, okay, at the end of the loop. So before checking the condition, the do while will execute at least once. This is the difference between the while loop and do while loop, right? So if you see syntax here, you can see you are checking a Boolean expression here, right? In while, if this expression is true, then only you are checking the statements. Okay, this is a multiple statement case. We are putting curly bracket, right? But if it is a single statement, then if this condition is true, then only this statement will execute. But in do while it is different. Okay, do, then some statement is going to execute, then you are checking the condition. And don't forget to put the semicolon. Okay, or if you go for the multiple statement, you are going for do and you are checking multiple statement and while the condition, right? This is for the single statement, this is for the multi statement. The only difference is that you are putting the curly bracket, right? Single statement case it is optional, but multiple statement case it is compulsory, right? Now we have used the increment operator in statements such as number plus plus, right? Sometimes we need to increment a particular value. Number is equal to number plus 1, or we want to print, or we want to write number plus plus. We want to increase the value of the number by 1. Okay. So this operator, why I am telling you, this operator is required in the upcoming loop, right? So the increment operator can also be used in the expression as you can also write. Suppose you want to increase the value in a 2 times, right? So you can write 2 into number plus plus. That is also possible, right? So you can multiply, you can write any expression to update the values. Update the value, you can go for increment or decrement, any other thing you can do, right? So number plus plus, what number plus plus is doing? First returns the value of the number. What is the value of the number in this case? If you go for this particular code, number is declared as 2, initialized to 2. So you are writing 2 into number plus plus. That is nothing but 2 into 2 plus plus, right? So 2 plus plus means the number value is now 2. So this is called as a post increment. First the value is assigned, then it will be incremented. So you are going to get the number value is 2, right? And 2 is going to multiply with 2. So value produced you are going to get 4. Okay. After the value of produced is calculated as 4, the number value is increased to 3. Right? So that is called as a post increment. Once the operation is done, then the value will be incremented. So here you can see another one is called plus plus number. What we discussed, that is called number plus plus. Number plus plus means it is assigned, then it is incremented. Before increment, there is the assignment should be done. But plus plus number case, okay, what is going to do? You have to do in this case before first it is going to be increment, then it is going to be assigned. The expression plus plus number will use the value of number after it is incremented. That is the only difference. One is pre-increment, another is called as post-increment. Right? So you may get different value in different person. Right? See this example. What is the value? Can you guess the value? Number is equal to 2. Right? You have written 2 into number plus plus. Means 2 into 2 plus plus. What will happen? It is post increment. So 2 into 2 is 4. Right? But in this case, you have written plus plus 2. What will be the 2 value will increase to 3. So 2 into 3, you are going to get 6. Okay? So value produced, you are going to print two value. One is value produced. Value produced is nothing but 2 into 2, that is 4. Okay? And the number is now, the number value will increase. This 2 plus plus or plus plus 2. Once the expression is over, all the values are 3. So here, value produced is 3 and number is your 3. Okay? But in this case, 2 into plus plus 2. So value produced is your 6 and number is nothing but 2. So both cases you are getting the number value is 3. But the way you are assigning to another variable is different. So you see the output. First case is 4, 3. Second case 6, 3. Number value is same in both cases. It is 3 and 3. But the value produced place is changed. Let us see this example. So here I have declared int number is equal to 8. Okay. Int value under produced field number minus minus. So number minus minus is nothing but your 8 minus minus. So it is again a post increment. So value produced is your 8. First it will be assigned, then it will decrement. Okay. So your number value you are going to get 7. But whenever you are writing minus minus number, the value produced is nothing but you have to first minus, then only you will assign to value produced. So you are going to get 7 and 7. Right? So here you can see the output is 8, 7 and then 7, 7. Right? Now you cross check with this one. How you are going to do it? This is an assignment. You try to practice this thing and see how it is reflected. So there is another program with respect to this increment operator. So let us see. So execution now starts from the main function. So you have number of items as an integer, count is an integer, calories for the item is integer, and total calories of the integer. So here we are calculating the calories counting program. Okay. So first in the output screen it will show how many items did you eat today. It is there in the output screen. So we are entering the number of items is 7. Okay. So initially the total calorie is 0. Count of the item is equal to 1. Then it is displaying enter the number of calories in each of the number of items. Number of items is how much? You have entered 7. So it is going to show you 7 items eaten. So you can see in the output this way 7 items eaten. Then you have entered 300, 60, 1200, 600, 150, 1 or 120. Okay. Then this while loop will start. While loop what you have written? Count plus plus. Count plus plus is nothing but 1 plus plus. We are not assigning. We are checking 1 plus plus is less than equal to number of items. Number of items is how much? It is 7. The number of items is 7. It is true. So it is going to take C in calories for the item. Calories for the item is first value it will take, that is 300, and it will calculate total calorie is equal to total calorie, that is 0 plus calories per item is 300. Right? Now the count value is increased to 1. 1 plus plus means once it is over, it is 2. So for the 2 case, it is again executing one more time. Means it is taking 60. Okay. So these values, it is going to take one by one through this while loop. Then finally it is going to print total calories taken today is nothing but sum of these values, that is 2, 4, 3. Right. So in the loop condition also, you can use the increment operator or in the decrement operator wherever required. Right. So the decrement operator decreases the value of the variable by 1. Like here, yes, I told you the number is equal to 8. So 8 minus 1 means the value produced is 8. Right. But the number is your 7. Right. So replacing minus minus with the minus minus number. Instead of writing number minus minus, suppose you are writing minus minus number. What is the output? The output is changed to 7 and 7. Right. So a for statement, a for loop is another loop in the C++. Okay, like do while loop and while loop. We have another loop, that is for loop. It is designed for common tasks such as adding number in a given range. For example, if I tell you, you add all the odd numbers up to, let's say 30. Or if I tell you, add the number up to 100. Right? In that case, you can use the for statement because you are going to specify a particular range. Range is nothing but 1 to 100 or 1 to 30, something like that. So it's sometimes more convenient to use than the while loop. In addition to the while loop, for loop is more flexible, right? So does not do anything a while loop cannot do, right? Most value, whatever the things done by the while loop is done by the for loop. So I'll tell you how to convert a while loop to the for loop, how to convert a for loop to the while loop. So the for allows us to specify three things about the loop. First one is setting a loop counter as an initial value. Like you are writing I is equal to 1, that is the first one you have to write in the for, right? Second one is you have to testing the loop counter. You have to check that whether you have reached the end of the value or not. Let it be I less than is equal to 10, okay? Or I less than equal to a variable n, that you have to decide. Third is you have to specify either the increment operator or you have to specify the decrement operator. So these three things you have to specify in the for loop. Let's take an example. So this is the syntax. First part is called as your initialize counter. Second part is called as your test counter. Third one is called as your increment counter. Okay, three things. Inside that you can write a block or a group of statements. Okay. So here you can see I am converting a while loop to a for loop, right? So in the while loop case, what I have written? I have written sum is equal to 0, assuming that these are already declared. Sum is equal to 0, n is equal to 1, and n is less than equal to 10. So n is equal to 1 is what? It is nothing but your initialization. Okay. N less than equal to 10 is what? Your condition. Okay. And what is your updation? Updation is nothing but n plus. So these three statements you can write combinedly in the for loop. So in the as an alternative of this particular code, you can write like this: sum is equal to 0, and in the for you are writing initialization, condition, and updation. Okay, and inside that you are writing the same thing: sum is equal to sum plus 5. So in this way, you can represent a while loop in a for loop. You can convert a while loop to the for loop. So these are the things. N is equal to 1 is called as your initialization. N less than equal to 10 is called as your Boolean expression. And N plus plus is called as your operation. Right? In this way, you have to declare the for loop. So here you can see what we have declared. We have declared here also you can see declaration and initialization also can be done in the for loop. Like here you can see I have declared a variable n which is of integer type and I have initialized 1. That is also possible in the case of for loop. Then until unless the value of n is reached to 10, you have to continue this loop. Once you reach to 11, you have to stop. But until unless you are reaching 10, you have to execute. And you have to increment the value of n. Right? Now, this is the flow chart. So you have done the initialization. If any other initialization you want to do, right? or in the while case, you are doing the initialization, then you are testing. If the condition is true, then you are entering the body of the loop, and at the end, either you are incrementing or decrementing, right? But if the condition is not satisfied, then you are stopping there, right? So this is the syntax. You can see what we already discussed, that is initialization, then condition, then updation. Okay, here another for loop is there. The initialization is number is equal to 100, and until unless the number is greater than equal to 0, you have to continue. And your updation, in this case we are using decrement operator, that is number minus minus. Okay, so this is the syntax in addition to the syntax whatever used in the case of while. While case, what you are writing? You are writing number 100 is your initialization, number greater than equal to 0 is your condition, number minus minus is your updation. Three things we are combining using a single statement in the form. That is the advantages you are going to get if you are going for the for statement, right? So initialization and updation action of the for loop often contain more complex expressions, right? For example, in this case, you can see we are declaring n is equal to 1, condition is n is equal to 10, and here you are not using increment and decrement operator. What you are writing? You are writing n is equal to n plus 2. Such type of expression is also allowed in the case of for. Or in this case, we are writing n is equal to n minus 7. And a more complex one you can see here, we are writing double x is equal to power of y, y comma 3. You know, power is a power function which is there under the math header file, right? And y to the power 3, it indicates y to the power 3. So it will evaluate and it will be assigned to x, which is a double term. Okay, and you can see until unless the updation is nothing but x is equal to square root of x, and condition is nothing but x is greater than 2. So three things you can combine. Okay, and you can see there is a more complex one in this particular slide. So the body of a for loop can be a single statement or you can write a group of statements. But if you are writing group of a statement, so you have to write the group of statement inside the braces, so that it will, you are going to get your expected output. So whenever there is a group of statements, it's better to represent in the form of braces, right? So this is the loop. So here you can see we have a we have a couple of statements inside the for. Like you can see here, we have written C out is equal to C out number, bottles of beer on the shelf. Okay, if number is greater than 0, right? Then take one down and pass it around, right? So whenever there is a couple of statements are there, you have to write inside the braces, right? In order to avoid the computation. Okay, but if there is a single statement is there, so no need to put this bracket, right? This bracket is optional, right? Now the semicolon creates a C++ statement. Placing a semicolon after x plus plus creates a statement, right? Anything you are putting a semicolon at the end, it is a statement. Like here you can see, here I have written C out, I want to print hello, and I want to go to the new line, and I am putting a semicolon. What it indicates? It is the end of this particular line. Here also I am printing a message goodbye, and I am printing semicolon. But here you can see I am not written any statement, I am written only semicolon. So even if you are writing only semicolon, it is treated as a statement. It may be a blank statement, but it is treated as a statement, right? But sometimes what happens, by mistake we are writing a semicolon at the end of for. What it indicates? It indicates the for loop is ended here. So while you are writing, you have to be careful. You should not write a semicolon at the end of the for statement. So that's why it is saying placing a semicolon after the parenthesis of the for loop creates an empty statement. Is the body of the loop. Okay, and this C out, whatever you have written immediately after for, it is not a part of your loop. It is a simple statement which is printing hello. So if you have written like this, you are going to get hello as a output, but this hello is not inside the for. Okay, so that is treated as a empty statement. So you have to be careful, don't put the semicolon. Only in the do while case, in the while condition you are putting semicolon at the end, right? No, in other cases we are not putting semicolon. So it is important to note that initialization, testing and increment part of a for loop can be replaced by any valid expression. And I am also telling all the parts are not compulsory. Initialization, testing, incrementation, all are not compulsory, all are optional. Okay. So in this case, it is a very simple one. It is written I is equal to 10. Condition is your I. Okay, we are not putting condition, we are putting the condition as I and I minus minus. And if this is true, then you are going to print. If this I equal to 10, it will start as initialization. Condition is true, then it is going to print C out the I value. Right? Another type of statement you can see here. I have written I is less than 4, j is equal to 5, then j is equal to 0, then you are printing the value of I. Right? Another one you can see here, I is equal to 1, I less than is equal to 10, and in the updation I am writing C out is equal to I plus plus. See here, in the updation part you are not writing increment decrement operator directly, you are writing a C out statement. That is also fine. But as you have written a semicolon here, it is treated as a blank statement. This statement is treated as a blank statement. Right? Another one, you can see here we are writing C in A, C in I. So here instead of initializing the value I is equal to 1 or 2, you are asking the input. That is also treated as it is a valid expression. Any valid expression you can write in the initialization or condition or in the updation. But that should be meaningful. Without meaning, you should not write.